Okay, welcome to today's podcast. I am so excited because tomorrow is my birthday and I'm going to be 60 years old. And I brought my life coach, Kristine, really actually more than a year, maybe about
Yeah,
14 months, I think.
I think so.
You have been helping me become Debbie 2.0. So would you introduce yourself?
Yes, I'm Kristine Rucker. I am the arm coach. I help women sculpt their arms so that they can transform their life. So it's super fun. I have the most amazing clients and just really loving seeing the transformation that they're getting in their arms and their life. It's
Yeah.
been super fun.
Yeah. So if you guys are not watching us on YouTube, you should go because Christine's arms and her shoulders, yeah, they look really awesome. So,
Oh, thank you.
yeah. Anyway, well, okay, we're
Yours
going to
too.
talk.
We were just talking about yours. You should do a little flex here, Debbie 2.0. Look at that. Incredible.
Thank you, all to Christine. So, okay, let's talk about kind of why this birthday podcast and why I have you here and all the ways that you've helped me. But I want to share a celebration story first because I started out this morning thinking about this podcast with you. And I was reminded of something that I'm very emotional about at the moment. That was a goal that I set that I don't know, I guess I'll say I crushed it. So I'm going to tell you about it, Christine, because I don't think you know. But in April of 21, I certified at the life coach school. Now, keep in mind, I'd been in business, as you know, for 20 years already as a business consultant. And I was helping women in the wedding business doing the exact same thing that I do today with coaches. And when I went to the life coach school, Brooke, even though I thought I was in personal development, Brooke introduced me to a lot of things that I had no idea about. One was about possibility. If you guys don't know Brooke Castillo from the Life Coach School, she's awesome. And she talked about making $100 million a year in her coaching business. And just about like anything's possible. So I decided at that moment when I certified, I was like, I don't love what I'm doing. I had this business that was basically, I'd gotten it built. I moved from in person to online, and it was really doing well, or so I thought, until the word possible came into my mind. And at the same time, I was like, I really like what I'm doing, and I see an opportunity to help coaches. So in May, 3 years ago, right after I certified, I had this moment of, you're going to change your business. And I was like, no, everything's good. I've built my business to this point. It's easy. I literally was coaching 2 hours on Monday evening. It's like pretty good, but it was just like, nope, it's time for more. You don't know what's possible for you.
I love it.
So at 57 on June 1st, 3 years ago, I decided that I was going to basically shut down my business that I had. I had a very large email list. I had clients. I had a reputation, and I was going to coach coaches.
That
And
had
so
to be
I
so scary.
thank God I knew how to coach myself.
Yeah.
So I decided that between 57 and 60, I was going to make more money in a brand new niche using the process that I was teaching people on how to build and grow their businesses. I was going to do it in my own brand new niche in 3 years and make more money than like multiple times more than I had ever made. And I realized this morning I did it.
I am not surprised. Congratulations. I am not surprised though, Debbie. That's
Oh, it was so much
amazing.
fun
That's
to think.
amazing.
Yeah.
That is one thing that I know to be true about you. Once you set your mind to something, you might not know the how, but you do know that you are going after it. You do know that you're going to get there. You have really learned to trust yourself. And I've seen that transformation just in the short time that we've been working together. It's so impressive.
I do. Once I get determined on something, I think I have a good work ethic and a deep belief in myself of what I can do. But again, this goal that I set was far beyond anything that I had ever heard of. But I did think like there was coaches at the life coach school that were making a lot of money. I was thinking, I'm not any different than them. I can do what
Right.
they're doing. I have to rebuild a business, but I know how to do that.
Well, and that in itself, Debbie, is what sets you apart from so many others because a lot of people wish for things. They wish they could be that person that they hear that makes $1 million a year, $100 million, whatever. But it's a whole nother person that actually will try, that will actually do the work and face the fear and go through. And you are one of those people. So amazing to see.
Well, thank you. Yeah, you do have to, like I said, self-coaching, beautiful thing I learned. I don't do life coaching with my clients, but I do a lot of life coaching on myself
Right?
to
Love it.
go to where I want to go to. So, something that I really learned is that one of the concepts that I was teaching in my coaching is that you want to create a boutique style business and life, which kind of for the listeners that don't know about this, it's about really creating an elevated personal brand and business that where you serve your ideal client in the way that's best fitting to you. Most of the clients I work with aren't looking to make millions of dollars. They want to have something that they're proud of, that they feel really good about, but it also fits their lifestyle. And what I
Yes.
realized before I hired you was I was teaching one thing and doing another thing. So I was telling people, create this boutique lifestyle and you don't have to work that many hours and do the things you want to do. And I was working 7 days a week. So it was like, okay, you got to get a grip on yourself here. That's not the way you want to move forward. And so I knew I needed help, which is where you came into play. I had this idea in the start of last year. So, start of 2023, it was like, I have to become Debbie 2.0 to get to the next level, which means I have to stop working so hard on my business and start working on me.
Yes.
Trust that I've got my business to a point that I can get Debbie's boutique life figured out.
Yeah, and it really can be a struggle, right? Because your why for your business is so strong. Like the love and care that you give your clients and the personal attention that you give, right? And you receive so much from that that
Yes.
sometimes it's hard to just not want to keep giving and giving and giving to your clients, right? So we had to find a way for you to be able to keep giving that high level, those tight touch points, right? And that high level of service while still, while giving yourself the same. And for you to understand that that is possible for you. You know it's possible for your clients,
Yeah.
but you weren't really sure that was possible for you, right?
So true. So
Yes.
true. Yes, in many ways, and we'll talk about time because time has something to do with it, but I'm gonna start with hiring you to lose weight because you're the arm coach, but you also help people lose weight. I met you in Miami.
We were on a yacht, girlfriend.
That's right, we were, weren't we? That sounds
We
pretty
were on a
impressive.
yacht. Yeah.
Yeah. It was through a client, somebody that was working with me was also your client, and so we met, and then I got in touch with you, and I knew that Debbie 2.0 needed to lose some weight. I knew that I needed to get in shape. I knew I needed to be sleeping better. I knew I needed to be working less. That, like, there was just a lot of things that I was suggesting that my clients make a priority that I wasn't doing. And the truth was, I was honestly scared to set a goal on any of those. So in comes Kristine. I meet her and I hire her. So do you want to fill in the details of what I thought about my weight and kind of how this all started?
You told me that you saw a picture of yourself, and it was at that point that you were like, "Wait, I've kind of been in a little bit of denial about what's happening, and I've been, like, just settling," because I you are very good at presenting yourself. You do have amazing style. You're able to kinda cover up and present yourself and it seemed to be fine. It was working.
Until then.
Right, and then sometimes it takes something like that for you to be like, "Okay, wait a minute. I do want to address this, and I do want to take better care of myself." Right? And you have grandchildren now, right? So you have a really strong why for wanting to be able to do that for yourself. And so I think too, that was another big thing for us is we really had to step into your why. And once I learned more about your business and more about like how important it is for you to be there for your clients, it was like we needed to understand that the better care we take of ourselves, the more that we better care we can take of others. And I think that really was the turning point for you. Once you could apply what you were doing for yourself to your clients, because you're all about how you can help your clients. And so if that makes sense in your brain and that is part of your why, then it becomes so much easier for you to be able to figure out this part. So, yeah.
So, so true, Christine, because otherwise you can come up with a lot of excuses of why
Right.
you don't have time or
Yeah. Well, and there were a lot of excuses, right? I mean, we all have them in certain areas of our lives, and we can really buy into those excuses, right? Because we want to. But once you start, once you have a coach, right? And I'm sure that's what you do for your clients too, right? I'm sure you hear excuses too. And you can kind of shine a light on that and be like, listen, okay, you can believe that, but that's not going to get you any closer to your goal, right? That's keeping you stuck. Right. So, really, just having the support, like I know that you do for your clients, to just support them in achieving their goal and just making them aware of some things that really they're kind of unconscious to. So, I think that's honestly, you did all the work. I think for me, it's been so fun to watch, but just really being able to point out, like, are you sure you want to keep thinking about it this way?
Like, y'all, she's not telling you what she really wants to tell and kinda giggle at, which is my drama over going shortly after we started working together, I was going to Mexico for a wedding, and I literally spent 3 weeks of coaching with you, I think, talking about eating a piece of
Birthday cake.
wedding
Yeah.
cake. Yeah, it's like, should I or should I not? And they're gonna know, and what are they gonna say? It's so interesting, the drama we can drum up over something like a piece of cake.
Oh, it's so true though. But honestly though, if we switch it to your business, right? I'm sure you have a lot of clients that have drama over like posting on social media.
Social media,
Right,
yes.
we're all so wrapped up in what other people are gonna think, like, "Oh my gosh, they're gonna notice if I'm not having a piece of cake, and they're gonna question me about it, and what are they gonna think? They're gonna think I'm so obsessed with my weight," or whatever it is, right? You see the same things in terms of business. So, it's really just kind of untangling all the thoughts like that we have that really are preventing us from achieving the goal that we want. So,
Yeah,
yeah.
I have to tell you, I got on the scale a couple days ago and I've lost 38 pounds.
Oh my gosh.
Yeah. So I've lost, we're
Amazing.
not talking about my weight anymore.
Amazing.
So,
I
um,
know, right? That's just
yeah,
incredible.
kind
And
of a
I
way.
can't believe you're gonna be 60. Like, you are just like, you're so vibrant. I just love it.
It is funny for those of you who are close to 60, you remember what you thought 60 was going to be? It's just not that. So,
Yeah. It's I know. Well, I'm
anyway,
55. I'm right on your
yeah.
heels, girlfriend.
And you look
So,
amazing. Yeah.
I
So,
look to you. I
yeah,
love it.
the weight really symbolized, I think, all the other things that I had just settled for, and it's hard to complain when your life is good, and maybe some of you guys that are listening can relate to this. It's like, like you said, Christine, I could dress myself nice. I had a
Mhm.
nice business. What did I I had a nice life. I mean, we have a good life. What am I complaining about? So, but it's not about complaining. It was just like I just settled for so-so. Who wants to live that way? It was really I just was doing that because didn't wanna have to be uncomfortable. That's
Mhm.
really what it was.
Yeah. But when we dive into that uncomfortableness, most people are already feeling a level of discomfort, right? Knowing that you want something a little more and not going after it, that is uncomfortable. It really is. And it's not an intense discomfort, it's a low level hum that like invades just your everyday life. And
Yeah,
so we think we're not uncomfortable, but it really is there. It
yeah.
really is.
I was just ignoring it by not, like,
Yeah.
saying it out loud. I think just like again, I love the parallel always between building a business and weight loss because I think people can really get that. You've tried and tried and tried. You've made it so hard, and this time, I remember I came to you and my thought that I had about myself was, "There is a naturally thin person in this body. This is not the way that I'm supposed to be," and it's like, you could be thinking the same thing about your business. Now, Christine, I know you have a successful coaching business
Mhm.
yourself, but I mean, for the people listening, it's like, there is a successful coach inside of me. I'm just gonna peel back the layers of the onion. I'm gonna get there.
Yeah.
I want
Well, and I
that.
think that was really key for you too. Once we landed on that I'm a naturally thin woman, then
Mhm.
all the decisions that you make from there come from that thought, right? What would a naturally thin woman be eating right now? What would she be thinking right now? What would she be wearing right now? Right?
Forgot about all this stuff,
Right?
Christine.
We
Yes.
did this for a long time, and once you adopted that and believed that and saw that to be true, then all of those decisions just filtered through that framework, right? And I know for me with my business, like I am a multi-million dollar CEO. And so when I think that thought, like everything filters down through that thought. Like what kind of projects would I say yes to? What are the things that I'm going to have to say no to? Right? And I can see that evolution with you, with all of your financial goals and goals for your clients too. It's like, if this isn't going to serve my client to the highest level and still like honor my time commitments, then that's a no.
Yeah.
Right? Like we just have these filters that we just set for ourselves from our future self. Then once you think of it from your future self, then the decisions just get a lot easier.
Yeah. So after I lost the weight, then I was like, maybe I should exercise a little bit. And I just told this on a recent podcast, so I'm going to repeat what I said. But I was first decided, Christine, the arm coach who's exercises all the time, was like, all right, we'll just do it however you want to do it. And I'm like, I'm going to lay on the floor and do arm weights first. So it's like from the floor. And I did that for months. And then it
Yeah.
was like, okay, I'm going to do the next thing. And so you gave me a workout and I was doing it, but I was doing it with light weights. And
Mhm.
then I joined a gym, and so I felt like that was a little bit more progress, and that was just a few months ago. But I was still not really, and I thought I was going kinda all in until we met in California, and you were like, "Put this weight in your hand."
Exactly. Try this one. But I think what you said, I think that is just so beautiful what you said, because isn't that how building a business goes? We're just going for progress. We
Yeah.
just start somewhere.
Yeah.
Even in weight loss, in sculpting our arms, in building a business, it's all the same. Just start. It doesn't have, you're not going for the gold medal, right? We're just getting started. And then you just progressed as you were ready, right? You just
Yeah.
progressed. And that's how it goes. And I know your program is so detailed in terms of the progression, right? And I know you have multiple levels too. So that's what's just so beautiful. You've already had the framework. We just had to apply it to the self,
That's right. And,
right?
I'm really good at, I don't want to set myself up to fail. So it's like, to me, small progress just builds on itself, like the compound effect. I'm all about that. That's
Absolutely.
really how I was able to get, I think this is all worked out. Is in the past, I would have set a goal like everybody else. I'm going to the gym every day I didn't do that.
And that truly is, Debbie, the key to success, right? You got to set up yourself to win, not to
Yeah.
fail. And that starts with just baby steps,
Yeah.
right? And then you just build on that. And that is, because people become overwhelmed. I'm sure you see it in business too, right? They think they have to have, the website and the social media, all done at once, right? And then they get overwhelmed and they quit. So, you have to have a little framework. You have to meet yourself where you are and you just build from there. So, and that's Debbie 2.0 just is done.
The other thing that I want to talk about before we kind of wrap up this little birthday episode is time. So, one of the things that Christine has literally, and again, my podcast listeners know I've spent a year being coached on time, which
Mhm.
sounds so ridiculous. When you get coached on something, you get to the other side of it, you're kind of like, why was that a problem? But with that said, again, I was talking to my clients about creating a boutique lifestyle, and I was slowly working less. And I had my first grandchild, Lucy, and I was taking care of her on Wednesday. And now we've just had Jack introduced into the picture a couple months ago, and I'm going to work less. But also, it wasn't just the time of me taking care of them, it was working in the evenings and the weekends. And how do I do that? And also amplify the impact that I want to have in my business because
Yeah.
I believe so deeply in what I have to offer. How can I scale and grow my business and work less? So, time became an issue in my mind. I don't
Yeah.
have time was a broken record, right,
Yeah.
Christine?
Well, I think just lack overall, kind of was a theme, but certainly with time, because I think you were thinking about it in like just blocks of like hour, or, 15 minutes here, whatever. So when you're thinking about it in just in terms of increments of minutes and hours and days, we have to start asking ourselves different questions because we all get the same amount of time. So how can I have more quality of time? Right? How can I serve my clients at a higher level in shorter amount of time? And how could that be a benefit to them?
To them, a
To
benefit
them.
to
For
them.
you, Debbie, for sure, it's all about your clients. And you have, in order for it to click for you, you have to, like, how is this going to benefit my clients and me? So if I can teach these concepts faster in a shorter amount of time
Yeah.
and not have to be on 5 calls a week, like,
Yeah.
how is that's going to benefit them and me? But once you kind of mastered that and once you started implementing that and seeing that you did have more time, then you became very uncomfortable with having more time because we hadn't resolved that thought of, I need more time. Right. So when you started having more free time, you started filling it up again. Do you remember that?
Yes, and the thing was, I remember just the uncomfortable of like, wait, I'm ending the day at 3 o'clock. Now what do I do? I
Yes,
literally
exactly. It's
did not
uncomfortable.
know what to do because I had time in my schedule.
Right. So then we had to start planning that time.
That's so
So we
ridiculous. And
started
every,
feeling a little bit more comfortable. But that's the thing. We have these habit thoughts, right? You had a habit thought of, oh my gosh, I've got so much to do. I don't have enough time. There's so many things I want to do for my clients and there's not enough time. And you just kept ruminating on that over and over instead of asking yourself in a different way, okay, how can I give my clients better results in a shorter amount of time so they can reach their goals faster?
yeah,
Once you can reframe it like that and give your brain like a problem to solve, because you weren't solving a problem by ruminating on not having enough time. You were staying stuck in this spin. But when you give it a problem to solve of how can I give my clients faster, better results in shorter time, your brain just went to work. I think that's when you got fast track. I think that's when you kind of came up with that whole fast track
yeah,
model.
yeah. It's
So,
just so funny because every conversation now that I'm looking back was like, well, yeah, but I don't have enough time.
yeah.
I would say, like, I'm going to do this. And then I would say, yeah, but I don't have enough time. And you would say, did you hear what you just said again? I mean, we're
Yeah.
our own kind of worst enemy, I guess. We
You
block
don't
ourselves from having the success we're trying to have, which is why a coach is so valuable.
exactly, exactly. And I know you do a lot of coaching calls with your clients too, but then to just point them out, like, we've talked about this last week, right? This is something that keeps coming up, which happens because we have these habit thoughts. We
Yeah.
can't just talk about it once and be done. But a coach, a mentor, somebody to kind of hold your hand through these things, right? Just brings so much awareness to some behaviors and patterns of thought that you don't even really know that you have. So,
Oh
so
my
amazing.
gosh. All
Yeah.
right. So Debbie 2.0 knows how to manage her weight. She's sleeping better. She's exercising. Oh, and I just added walking more every single day. That's another add on.
Which I love seeing on your Instagram, by the way, your Instagram stories. I look forward to those. I hope you keep those up. That's
I
amazing.
think we will. Walk and talk with Debbie is getting its own little highlight spot.
I love it.
So yeah, that was just even something to get over too, Christine, because honestly, I didn't want to not be dressed up all the time.
Oh, I see.
Yeah, that's why I didn't want to go do that because I
Yeah.
might not have my red lipstick on when
Okay.
I went and did
Oh,
that.
well,
So
I think you still do. On the ones that
yeah.
I see, I think you still do.
Yeah, well, not
Good.
quite like this in my
Yeah.
setup. So
Oh my gosh, amazing. It's just so fun.
anyway, so yeah, and lots of changes coming to my business. And I just can't, I mean, really, Christine, thank you enough for the support that you've given me, how you've helped me. I can't wait to see a year from now. I'm going to have you back, and I can't wait to see what happens between 60 and 61. In
Yeah.
my mind, it is just all beginning.
Yeah. Well,
So
it's so fun to watch you crushing your goals. It's amazing. So inspirational.
thank
Wishing you
you.
the happiest birthday, Debbie. Oh my gosh.
Thank you. Thank you. All right, you guys, have an amazing week. Get with Christine. I will leave her link here so that you guys can hire her to have some arms. All
I
right.
so good.
Go
Thanks,
later.
Debbie.
Thank you.